What's good? Welcome back to another edition of the Vibe Podcast, where we build relationships centered around love. It's not about men, it's not about women, it's about two beings coming together to make one. Hey man, today we got a dope topic for you today, man. As you can see on the title, we're talking about why are people so afraid of love and commitment, man. Let's talk about that. Let's dive into that because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to love and when it comes to commitment, there's a fear factor. I think one of the things that prevents people from loving and committing is they have a hard time of letting things go that happened in the past. And so they are fearful that the person that they're about to get in a relationship or they're talking to now could lead to that potential same ending and same conclusion as to how it ended back then. And I truly believe that people have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to let go of that hurt. You have to be willing to let go of that pain. A lot of times people put everybody in the same box, right? They put everybody in the same box of, oh yeah, it's just gonna be typical situation where everything starts off good and then eventually you're gonna get to know them. And a lot of times it's because they holding on to that hurt, they holding on to that anger, they holding on to that pain, they holding on to those memories, they're holding on. You gotta let go in order to find love, in order to be open to want to commit. Sometimes we're just not open to commit because we have been heartbroken. We have been rejected. I look at it like almost like a job. Sometimes in the world we live in, you have a job and you put in all the work and you do everything right and you come to work on time and you never start no issues and they lay you off. It had nothing to do with you. It just had everything to do with it not being the job for you. And it's being that the job kind of came to an end. And I know it sucks. It sucks losing anything in life, right? It sucks having to let go of anything in life. But at the end of the day, what is for you is for you. I hope that hit somebody. I hope that touched somebody right there. What is for you is for you. Love is a beautiful thing when you allow yourself to be in it. And I think one of the other things that stop people from having love and commitment is trust. They don't trust. They truly don't fully trust. Everything comes with, okay, why are you doing that? What you do? You must have did something. Why you just bringing me roses on a regular day? Why you ain't, why you calling me out of the blue today? You never do that. You must have did something. There's always a caveat to why people doing something for them because they don't trust. Because in their past, somebody has misused their trust. In their past, somebody has lied to them. In their past, somebody has been mischievous, deceitful. Somebody has misled them to think. And so, since now they're dealing with somebody new, they don't want to trust that person fully. And so you put somebody through all these hoops and loops and eventually end up driving them away. Or never even giving a situation a shot that could have been probably the best thing that ever happened for you. I think a lot of times people do miss out on good people because of they haven't dealt with their trauma, they haven't dealt with their past, they haven't dealt with their issues, and so they jump into a situation. And usually when they're ready to jump into the situation, usually they end up jumping into the same situation with a similar type of person that they left a situation with. That's the crazy part about life is that they jump into a situation with somebody that has similar characteristics of the same person that you had a bad situation with or had a bad sort of like experience with, I should say. And it's crazy, but it's so true. It's so true. And then all it does is it puts them down deeper into that rabbit hole to not want to try to find love, not want to try to be committed to anything, right? I think a lot of times people don't like love and commitment because it takes a lot of work. And I think people don't realize how much work it takes. You know, after the first 3 months of a relationship, you really get to know the person to a little bit. You know, everybody changes as we get older, as we go through life, as we experience things. But for the most part, you start to see their regular characteristics. You start to see their regular personality. And I think that people at the end of the day, they just don't want to invest in that because it takes a lot of work. It takes communication. It takes vulnerability. It takes the ability to be open to want to listen. You know, a lot of these relationships you see nowadays are one-way streets or one-sided conversations where you're talking, but you ain't listening. And you pretending to act like you hear your partner, but truthfully, you don't even hear them. You're not even really registering what they're saying. You're not even hearing the key points of the conversation. You just, yeah, oh, okay, I feel you. Yeah. You know, and it's crazy. A lot of times it used to be us men that does this, but you're seeing more and more women starting to do this. Women are not being attentive to what a man's saying. Men are used to be the ones that's like, okay, yeah, I hear you. And then go back to doing what they're doing. But I see a little transition. I see some men starting to make that shift. But now you're seeing the shift in women when men are telling them about how they feel, when men are telling them what they're dealing with, and when men are telling them, you know, their emotions. It's going in one ear and out the other. And they're not showing up for their partner because it takes work. It takes too much work. And with the other ingredients of lack of trust and fear, they're like, I ain't got time for that. I'm better off just focus on me. I'm better off just do what I got to do. But truthfully, man, a lot of people don't like being alone. You know, and sometimes you end up settling for something that is below your means just so you can be with somebody. And I would hate for you to get to that point because you are scared and you're afraid to try something new. I know for me, one of the things I had to let go is I had to let go of my past. I had to let go of my trauma. I had to let go of doing so much or going over and beyond for somebody and to not get a return on my investment, I should say, or just not letting the fruit of the fruition come to life. It didn't work out. And so now when it comes to doing sweet things, it's hard for me to do those things. Like I used to love sending flowers. I used to love sending, good morning Texas. I used to love all those things. But when I did it and it didn't work and it didn't have that impact that I thought it was going to have, it didn't meet my expectations. Now it's almost like I'm numb to it. Now sometimes it made me feel like it's not even genuine. Because when you try to do the right things or the nice things, I should say, with certain people, they end up like not really, showing you the type of reaction you would think you should get. And I think maybe that's one of the things why is because a lot of times the people that we try to get at, they don't meet our expectations. And I just think a lot of times people don't want to find love and commitment because they are lacking the patience. You know, a lot of folks want that microwavable love. The stuff you see on Instagram, on stories, on movies, that microwave love. That, see, they love each other. They doing X, Y, and Z. But in truth, the truth of the matter is that that's not what real love representation. That could be a glimpse of it. But we all know love takes a lot of work, man. Love is a sacrifice. Even when you look at God loved us so much that it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice for him to give his only son. And if you're not willing to sacrifice something, if you're not willing to let go of something, to sacrifice your time, to sacrifice some of your needs to make sure their needs are getting met, to sacrifice some of your ways, it's going to be hard for your relationship to work. It's going to be hard for you to find love because you're not willing to change. You're not willing to change. Love is beautiful. Commitment is beautiful. And I understand a lot of us are afraid, man. It doesn't feel good to get your heart broke. It doesn't feel good to be did dirty. It doesn't feel good to be cheated on. It doesn't feel good to be lied to. But you got to look at those bad situations and turn them into blessings because, look, they did you a favor. They made it easier for you to leave. They made it easier for you to start deciphering this ideal of what a relationship looks like and what type of relationship you want. Because a lot of times we want relationships that we see on TV or what we hear from people, but we don't even know what type of relationship we want. We don't even understand what kind of person we want. We want the superficial things. They got to have this. They got to have that. They got to have this. What about heart posture? What about their character? What about their morals? What about how they treat other people? The looks, the money, the job, how they dress, all the physical, material things. I get it. Physical traction, I get it. But like we talked about it the other day, you can't have physical traction without the other things. Physical traction only gets you so far. If you listen to people that's been married for 30, 40, 20 some years, they got to the point where they had to do some real deep-rooted work. And the work was easy because they wanted to be with each other. That's what love and commitment is all about. It's about wanting to sacrifice something and to be committed to it. To a point where you want to be with that person for the rest of your life. But I do think a lot of people are afraid. They are afraid to take that chance. They are afraid to take that risk. And they don't do it. We have became comfortable with being single. And there's nothing wrong with being single, by far. Being single has its perks. Sometimes it's a purpose for you to be single. But I think sometimes when you have opportunities to find somebody and get to know somebody, we don't take that opportunity because of our past. And like I said, we're going to get into a video coming up, is that you want to be at a point where you want to be your partner's superhero on both ends. Where you can call your lady up and you know she's going to be there for you for the most part. When you call your man up and you know they're going to be there for the most part and they're going to provide you that comfort. At the end of the day, the person you want to call all the time is God. But, that physical person that you want in your life, you will hope that that's your partner. When you're dealing with something, you can call them and they can be there to put you at ease. When you need them to come through, you can call them and they figure out a way to make it happen. That's what you want. Will it always be like that? Not all the time, but you want it a higher percent time than you don't. Love and commitment is amazing, family. It's amazing. I see some people that's in love and it's just like, man, my boy DJ and his wife, it ain't perfect, but it's love. They have fun. They have fun, fam. Yeah, they have some banters back and forth here and there someday, but you can tell the joy they have when they look at each other's eyes. You can tell that it's real. You can tell that they want to be committed to one another. They want to be with each other for the rest of their life. When I look at my boy, my cuzzo, you know what I'm saying? and this chick going on trips and how they are when they interact, you can just feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it, man. It's in the room. It's contagious. Sometimes you even feel jealous. Let's call a spade a spade. Especially when you're single and you see somebody else living good. Come on now. At the end of the day, you can't be afraid to jump. Safe. It's not true healing. Being safe is being overly protective at times. To be safe is truly being able to let go and to freely be with somebody without holding any grudges, without bringing in your old baggages, and freely allow yourself to be immersed in getting to know that individual. To not have these preconceived notions that this is how it's going to end. Oh, they're only doing this because of this. Oh, they only want one thing. Oh, they really don't really. No. It's going in there with a pure heart and saying, I'm going to let what happens, happens. But I'm going to give whatever I got to give. I'm going to give everything I got to give. I'm going to do my part. Not this whole, I got to wait and see if it's going to work. No. Because if you do your part, then it's easy for you to walk away and be like, you know what? This not productive for me. This ain't what I want. And it's easier to let it go. Because if somebody not going to match you, if somebody's not going to see the effort and try to put in the same amount of effort or just some effort, you know what I mean? I know when you get in a relationship, there are going to be times when the effort is not equal. But when you're starting, there better be some equal effort putting up in that thing. Or you wasting your time. And that's one thing I've had to learn. Stop wasting your time on things that doesn't really have investment in you. They're not really invested in you. You know, stop wasting your time on those people. Because they're taking time that you can't get back from you having an opportunity to find somebody who wants to invest in you, who wants to be with you, who wants to get to know you just the same way you want to get to know them, who is ready to love and commit. Not saying it's going to happen overnight, but they're ready for the journey. Understand, family, love and commitment is a lifetime journey. It's a lifetime thing. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And if you're not ready for that, then be single. And I will encourage and I pray that you don't end up choosing the same people or the same style and the same type of individuals who continue to misuse your time, mistreat you, and use you. I think once you start to have that discernment, you can start telling who's really down for you and who really just wants you for something. Or who really wants you because you're a convenience right now. And I think a lot of people are missing the signs. A lot of folks are blind to those things. And what they think they truly is getting, it's not even coming close. And what is going to lead to more pain, more hurt, more trust issues, less patience, and just wanting to just be by themselves for the rest of their life. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. If you want to be by yourself just by you being by yourself, that's fine. But don't be by yourself because you're scared. And you try to tell yourself and convince yourself, I'm better off by myself. But love and commitment, it's a beautiful thing, family. And I pray and hope that each and every one of you finds it. Because you deserve it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to find your equal half. You deserve. You deserve it. You do. You're worth that. You're important. And you got to start believing that. You're a 5-star. Stop being okay with 1-star quality people who don't want to treat you like you're a 5-star. Who don't want to love you like you're a 5-star. Who don't want to commit to you like you're a 5-star. Love and commitment. That's why I think people are afraid. And I understand. I get where they're coming from. I've been there. But you got to let it go, fam. You got to let the past be the past. Learn from the past. Use the past to help build your discernment so you can know what you're getting yourself into. But you got to go in there open and ready. It's your boy Beck, man. That's all I got for y'all today. I love you. I appreciate you. Welcome to another edition again to the Levi Podcast, where we build relationships centered around the nucleus. Love. Not saying you don't need the other things, but that's one of the main things you got to have. It's not about men. It's not about women. It's about two beings coming together to make one. Hey, let me know what kind of topics you guys want to see me talk about next. And we keeping it alive, keeping it going, keeping it funky, man. I love you guys. All right. Have a blessed day.